One day, Gordon was making his way along the main line with his express train from Vickerstown to Knapford. The sun was shining, while the passengers were randomly singing Drop the Pilot by Joan Armour Trading or Du Hast by Rammstein and having a fun time. There's nothing quite like a generic introduction to start the... Great Scott! Whatever is happening? Gordon felt confused and embarrassed as he came to a stop just outside Elsbridge Station. Unfortunately for the NWR's number 4, a certain infamous wagon was on the track to his left. Oh, the indignity of being shunted in a damn goods yard! What's going on, Toby? Search me. For all I know, it could be a special train that's got priority over everything else. On what planet would my express not be considered top priority? Don't you understand, Gordon? They want to gradually whittle down your service until its eventual closure. Bulgy will be very happy about this. Oh, shut the fuck up, you pathetic lowlife. Chill out, man. I was just trolling.
They see me trolling. They hatin'.
Before Gordon and Scruffy could argue any further, Henry came screaming through the station like Thomas in that one Season 6 episode. Steaming pistons! Why was he rushing so much? Perhaps he's off to tell the Fat Controller that you want to be scrapped and replaced by a Class 800. So you want a repeat of what Oliver did to you, is that it? That should be enough to shut Scruffy up. Untrigger his PTSD. There's no need to be so threatening, Gordon. I was going to say that it looked to me like there was someone in the brake van. As in, another person is there with the guard. In any case, Henry was going way too fast for me to make out who that second person was. Eventually, Gordon finally got the all clear to leave Elsbridge and continue along the main line. He was still upset over being shunted, and arrived at Knapford far behind schedule. After the passengers disembarked at the station, the NWR's number 4 went off to the sheds, where James and Henry were idling. What was all that about, Henry? You what? Don't play dumb. I was shunted at Elsbridge earlier this afternoon, and had to put up with the troublesome trucks' ringleader while I waited in the yard. I arrived at Knapford 20 minutes late because of you. How is your train more important than mine? Look, I understand your concern over punctuality, but the man riding in the brake van needed to get to hospital as soon as possible. Ah, I suppose that makes sense. And to be clear, the Fat Controller told me to tell you that this sort of thing will not happen again unless it's absolutely necessary. He knows damn well that your express is the NWR's flagship service. Good to hear. Just a minute. Who was the person who needed to get to hospital, and why was it so urgent? Long story short, I was on my way back to Knapford anyway, having taken supplies to a building site near Crovan's Gate. As we were approaching Cronk, the signalman flagged us down and told us of a yard worker who broke his leg. My crew let him ride in the brake van to Knapford, and I've never been thrashed so hard along the main line in all my life. I can certainly relate to being thrashed. Such is the nature of always hauling such a time-sensitive train as the Wales Nor'Wester. Don't we know it? You're just like Duck whenever he goes raving about the GWR. Or, as a pirate would say, the GWR! Gordon had never heard such bullshit before. He knew that his boasting about the Express wasn't as excessive as Duck's ramblings. Somehow. But he was in no mood for arguing with James. As I was about to say, the reason why the man couldn't go to hospital by road is because there weren't any ambulances close enough to get him to Knapford in a timely manner. That ambulance shortage will have to be sorted out before too long. After all, the railway can't act as an on-demand ambulance service forever. Well, I never. I must say that I'm very proud of you for helping someone out in such a serious situation. Even though, as locomotives, we don't know what that sort of pain is like. What about when our valve gear gets jammed? Or when Edward's side rods broke back in 1986? Isn't that like the equivalent of someone breaking their leg or arm? Yes, I suppose it could be. In any case, I'm due to take another passenger service to Barrow-in-Furness shortly. Take care, lads. You too, Gordon. And with that, Gordon returned to Knapford Station to pick up his coaches. Secretly, he still wanted to complain over being shunted into Elsbridge Yard instead of going through the station, but it didn't take long for him to realise that dwelling on past events was a stupid idea. A few days later, the NWR's number 4 shocked everyone by apologising to Scruffy for threatening to give him the Oliver treatment. As for Henry, he continued on with his work as normal, while trying not to let Gordon's earlier praise go to his smoke box.